Hey guys, Tom Altizer down here at Tora Martial Arts Academy. Today I want to look at the defense for the upward knife thrust. Now I'll go ahead and preface this by saying any knife defense techniques are going to be very, very dangerous, obviously, so I recommend, if possible, to negotiate verbally with your attacker or to evade and escape or do anything else, pick up a weapon, anything before you attempt to defend yourself against a blade empty-handed, because obviously if something goes wrong, the consequences of that are very, very high. So I would recommend exhausting every other option you have than to defend yourself empty-handed against a blade. That said, even though it's dangerous and difficult, I'd still prefer to have a few tools in the toolbox just in case you find yourself in that situation. So the attack we're looking at is this very common upward knife thrust. It could be a screwdriver, ice pick, anything else that has puncturing capability, not so much slashing attack right now. So she's coming into that upward knife thrust. Number one, I've got to make sure I don't get run through with that blade. So two things are going to happen at once. As the attack comes in, I'm going to frame on the arm. My outside arm on the wrist, my inside arm on the elbow. But if I just stand here and frame, I could still get hit with the tip of that blade. So I'm going to hollow my body out and kind of throw my hips back just a little bit just to make sure I don't get touched with that blade, especially if it's a big one like this. So as she thrusts in, I shoot my hips back. From here, I'm going to take the arm that's on top and I'm going to control the elbow. As I pull the elbow towards me into the outside, I'm going to shoot this arm up underneath for the underhook. Now ordinarily, if she did not have a knife, my underhook would be up here, nice and high. This though still gives her the opening to thrust to the ribs. So I need to have my arm out a little bit longer than I normally would. I'm kind of controlling the elbow to make sure she can't touch me with that blade there. Or if she does, it's not going to have any power and go very deep. So again, frame, pull the elbow out as I shoot the arm up, and I circle my body out to the side. Let's rotate this way some. Once I get here, I control the head. Very similar to the head and arm control we saw from the punch defense video. But again, I'm a little farther out here on the elbow, and I'm controlling the head here. This time, because the knife is involved, I'm most definitely going to be a little bit more violent, so I'm definitely going to go with the knee. I'll throw a few knees, maybe 4 or 5. If the person goes unconscious, falls over, drops the knife, then obviously the technique stops there. But after a couple knees, what I like to do is this. I like to hug the elbow to my body, come up and I grab that wrist, I pull it up towards the back, and then I grab my own wrist. So now I have that kind of double wrist lock where it's that upside down kimura. Again, a real kimura would be top arm through. This one is bottom arm through. And I get that wrist control. Once I have control, I'm going to go ahead and erect the shoulder. Boom! I'm going to pop and pull that arm up towards the back as hard as I can in hopes of either dislocating the shoulder or doing some other sort of damage to it. Once I get here, I hug the elbow again, slide the back of my hand along her back, and I grip the blade, kind of the same orientation that her hand is, and then I'm going to peel the flat side of the blade out towards the fingertips. I step back. If I want to thrust, I could. Of course, that's probably a lethal technique at this point, so you can take the thrust out. But I like to open the thumb and go for the head and arm throw again. Take him down. I can control knee on belly. Again, there's another opportunity to finish right there. You don't necessarily have to. It depends on the situation and how violent you want to be. So again, all the way through, frame, grab, circle out, control the head, couple of knees here, and then if I want to hit the disarm, I come up and I control the wrist, control my wrist. Pop to do damage to the shoulder, hug the elbow, slide down, peel out. I could just get out from here, but if I want to take the person down, I open my thumb, I place the thumb on the back of the head, and then I circle out of the way and push the head through the hole. Again, I could finish here, or I could just move away if I don't want to do any more severe damage. Okay, so that's going to be my primary method to defend that upward knife thrust. In other videos that I'll post in the coming days and weeks, I'll show defense for different angles, but this is a very, very common one, so I wanted to start with that one. So take some time with that. Again, be very careful, make sure you're not using any live blades when you practice. Something dull like a wooden dowel or something, or you can even use a wooden kitchen utensil, really anything, a dull marker or something like that. Anything can simulate the knife if you don't have your own training knife. All right guys, have fun with that. We'll see you on the next one.